So here's a weird thought. Nobody wakes up and says, "Today I'm going to be super lazy and sabotage everything I care about." But somehow, a few scrolls later, 3 episodes deep into some show you're not even watching, and your to-do list is now tomorrow's problem. And then you hit that one thought. Why am I like this? Here's the truth. You're not lazy. Not deep down. Laziness is just your brain trying to protect you from something it thinks is dangerous. Not physically dangerous, like bears or bad sushi, but mentally, emotionally. Because most of the time, what we call laziness is actually avoidance wearing a hoodie. And today, we're going to figure out what it's avoiding and how to beat it. Not with a screaming alarm clock or a calendar app that makes you feel bad about your life, but with something better: understanding and strategy. Let's break it down. You're not lazy, you're avoiding pain. Sometimes, here's something that might change your entire perspective. Laziness is a survival response. It's your brain saying, "Hey, that task? Yeah, it looks like pain. Let's not." But in modern life, the pain isn't tigers, it's emails, deadlines, conversations you don't want to have. That math assignment you swore you'd start last week. Your brain is trying to protect your mood, not your life. So what does it do? It gives you fake rewards to feel better in the short term. Dopamine from TikTok, comfort from scrolling, the illusion of control from reorganizing your apps instead of writing that essay. And the worst part? Your brain thinks it's helping you, but it's not. It's building a habit loop that rewards not trying. And once that loop kicks in, laziness starts feeling permanent, even when it's not. The laziness feedback loop. So here's the actual problem. When you avoid a task because it looks hard or uncomfortable, you feel temporary relief. That relief teaches your brain, "Hey, avoidance works. Let's do it again." And now, every time something feels hard, your brain serves up the same reaction. Stall, delay, distract. Welcome to the laziness feedback loop. Here's what it looks like. Task appears. Brain says, danger. You procrastinate, you feel better? Temporarily. Task still exists. Guilt shows up, round and round it goes, and the longer it runs, the harder it is to stop. Not because you're weak, because your brain's been rewired to think avoidance equals survival. We got to rewrite that program. You don't need motivation. You need momentum. Okay, so how do we break the laziness loop? Most people say, "I just need motivation." Wrong. Motivation is not fuel. It's a result. It shows up after you've started, not before. Think of it like this. Motivation is that friend who only joins the gym once you're already sweating. You don't need to wait for motivation. You need momentum. A tiny bit of movement. Just enough to break the freeze, because once you start, even with something tiny, your brain shifts gears from protect mode to progress mode. And progress feels good, which gives you the motivation you thought you needed. That's the actual productivity cycle. Action, progress, motivation, repeat. So the real first step to stop being lazy? Don't look for a lightning bolt of motivation. Just take one tiny action. One push-up, one line of writing, one opened a tab. That's how you break the loop. The 2-minute trick that actually works. Here's the hack that works too well. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, do it now. It sounds dumb, but it's not about the task, it's about the trigger. It tells your brain, we don't delay. Do it once and you might still scroll. Do it every day for a week, and now your brain expects action, not avoidance. Need to send that email? 2 minutes. Make your bed? 2 minutes. Write one sentence of your essay? Still counts. The 2-minute rule is the lazy person's entry ticket to discipline. Because once you start a small task, you often keep going. And that tells your brain, laziness isn't your identity anymore. Break the big into tiny so your brain doesn't freak out. One of the main reasons we feel lazy, the task looks too big. Not physically big, just emotionally big. Like start a business or get healthy or write the essay that's 40% of your grade and due tomorrow, but you've somehow been pretending it doesn't exist for 2 weeks. Your brain sees a huge wall and goes, "Yeah, let's just take a nap." But here's the trick. Make the wall look like bricks. Don't write essay on your to-do list. Write. Open Google Docs. Write title draft intro. Write first paragraph. That's 4 wins instead of 1. And each one gives you that little hit of, hey, I did something, which snowballs into the next thing. Why does this work? Because your brain doesn't hate work. It hates ambiguity. When the task is vague, your brain panics. But when it's small and specific, it relaxes and says, oh, we can do that. So don't climb the mountain. Just take the next step and then the next. Laziness versus exhaustion. Know the difference. Now let's get real for a second. Sometimes you're not lazy, you're just tired. And the world around you, especially hustle culture TikTok, will scream, no excuses, push harder, sleep is for cowards. Meanwhile, your brain is quietly shutting down like a 2009 MacBook in the summer. Here's the truth. Burnout feels a lot like laziness, but it's not. So ask yourself, am I physically tired or mentally overloaded? Have I rested lately, like real rest? Have I eaten a real meal or just survived on caffeine and vibes? Because trying to beat laziness when your body needs a nap is like trying to study for a test by headbutting your textbook. It doesn't work, and it makes things worse. Sometimes the bravest, most productive thing you can do is rest. Then come back swinging. Make laziness feel weird. Here's a weird but powerful trick. Make doing nothing feel strange. Think about it. Right now, doing something feels like the hard part. So flip it. Make action your new normal. Set up routines where you're so used to working at 10 a.m. or journaling after dinner that not doing it feels off. Kind of like how brushing your teeth doesn't take motivation. You just do it. And skipping it would feel gross. You can build the same muscle for productivity. When you do your tiny actions consistently, they stop feeling optional. They start feeling automatic. And when laziness does creep back in, it'll feel out of place, like wearing jeans in the shower. Uncomfortable and not worth it. All right, time for the truth bomb. You're never going to be completely not lazy. You're not a productivity robot. You're a human. You'll have off days. Lazy hours, Netflix marathons that turn into full-on trilogies. And guess what? That's okay. Because this isn't about being perfect. It's about having a system that helps you reset fast. Laziness isn't the enemy. Getting stuck in it is.